When Washington Sundar was ruled out of the remainder of the India ODI series due to an injury, the one question that was on the mind of everyone was who could possibly replace him in the squad if India were to opt for a replacement player. The answer was one we got earlier today as Delhi and Lucknow Super Giants all-rounder Ayush Badoni was handed a maiden India call-up and will join the squad for the next two ODIs. Whether or not he gets to play is something that remains to be seen, but the fact is that Badoni has been picked and for the first time he will be part of an Indian senior men's camp. Now, the real question which a lot of people were asking, and this is what left a little people confused, was that is he the best of options to have called up on from the domestic circuit? We thought we'd actually answer that question by taking a look at some of his numbers, and just to make it a comprehensive thing, we've included not just his domestic numbers in white ball cricket for this year's Vijay Hazare Trophy as well as the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, but also a look at how it is that he performed in the last two editions of the IPL. So let's start off by taking a look at his IPL numbers, because let's be fair, those do matter when it comes to any player being called up. And starting with, of course, his numbers in 2025. He played all 14 games for the Lucknow Super Giants, the group games, wherein he scored 329 runs and was striking it at 148.2 and also took 2 wickets. So that's not terrible numbers by any stretch of the imagination, especially when you consider the fact that he's an off-spinner. Off-spinners aren't as regularly used. If they're all-rounders, they might get a couple of overs at most. So none of this seems like it's too bad. But go back to 2024 and his numbers are far from that impressive. In fact, it was a marked climb down from this particular season. In 2024, he again played all 14 games for the Lucknow Super Giants and scored just 235 runs at a strike rate of 137.43 and picked up absolutely no wickets. Now, why does I look at his IPL numbers is because in this case, he was batting in a lower order role. So whilst he definitely grew into that role in 2025, 2024 wasn't the same. It was a struggle. The other key rider that is worth looking at is that he barely bowls for his IPL team. In both seasons, he's not bowled more than 2 overs. In 2024, he bowled 10 balls. In 2025, he bowled 12 balls. So not really an awful lot as far as sample sizes go. Thankfully, the sample size is a little more when you look at his domestic numbers. And let's start with his numbers in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, which are fairly relevant considering it is the format that he's been called up for. But they don't really paint a great picture of him when it comes to the bat. Just take a look. You've got 5 games that have been played in which he has scored 16 runs. That's it, 16 runs, meaning his average is 8 and he's taken 4 wickets. So again, 4 wickets in 5 games is not too bad. It's fairly decent numbers, but 16 runs with an average of 8, an average which is, by the way, boosted to 8 because he had 1 not out. So not really, again, good numbers by any stretch of the imagination. And you also have to remember this is a call-up for the ODI side. So the Vijay Hazare form counts for something. But if you look at his Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy numbers, where he played more games for Delhi, it does look better. Again, 7 games, 206 runs, 135.52 is a strike rate, and 6 wickets. Again, there's definitely a wicket-taking bowler there when it comes to Ayush Badoni. The real question is whether or not his batting numbers can step up and justify him being called up, especially when you consider that when it comes to spin bowling all-rounders, there is a lot of competition. Jharkhand's Anukul Roy was one of their top performers with both bat and ball, and I would said, been a much better bet to call upon because he's been having a good time, not only in the Syed Mushtaq Ali, but even in the Vijay Hazare Trophy for Jharkhand. And he's just one example. The real reason why it seems like a Badoni has gotten called up is because he is someone who Coach Gambhir is familiar with. Remember, he was the one who was the mentor of Lucknow Super Giants when Badoni was picked by the side. And Gambhir has worked with him, and don't forget, he's also a Delhi player. So there's an obvious link there when it comes to Gambhir. He does trust Badoni. He believes that there is a player there. And we've noticed that with Gambhir, when he has belief in a player, he'll give them opportunities even if they don't always perform consistently. Harshat Rana being a prime example. Although I would say that Rana in ODI cricket has been far more consistent than in pretty much any other format. Will Badoni now be able to repay that same fate? Don't forget, there's only 2 ODIs which he'll potentially get to be a part of. After that, the focus will switch to the T20 series, a 5-match T20 series that will be India's final tune-up before the T20 World Cup. But coming back to Badoni, if you take a look at it purely from a numbers perspective, there's not really much of a case for a call up. But he is someone that the coach trusts, and well, that's potentially the reason why he's gotten called up. Do you think that that should be enough of a reason to get called up, or do you think that perhaps looking at his numbers, he needed to grind it out more in domestic cricket? Let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget, as always, to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, X, and Facebook, and stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.